Good morning, everyone. How are you all? So my name is Rajesh Govindaraj. I'm a faculty of Geography and Environment here in Vision IAS. So I'm associated with Vision since last 10 years. So it has been a very good experience teaching all these UPSC aspirants. So today I'll be discussing a brief introduction to the subject of geography in general studies. So what is the basic idea, basic syllabus, and the strategy, how to prepare for this subject of geography from the perspective of general studies, of course. So any of you have prepared and appeared for UPSC before this? So no? Okay. So I guess all of you are just out of college or just even going through college? In college? Okay. So how many of you are have just come out of degree? Okay, all of you. Okay, good. Take it. So I hope you guys are aware of the UPSC syllabus pattern. Have you started preparing for UPSC? Started or yet to start? All of you have decided to prepare for UPSC? Take it. Good. So because that is the most difficult part. सबसे difficult part तो वही है, to make the decision. Once you decide, रास्ता तो अपने आप खुल जाएगा, right? So you know the name of this examination is civil services, right? So it has how many stages? 3 stages. Yes. So very less students know that the number of stages in this examination are only 2. Only 2 stages in this examination. The first stage is preliminary, second stage is mains. Mains includes 2 parts. One is written, another one is personality test. Personality test or interview. Personality test or interview is part of mains examination only. So that is why the marks of both mains and interview will be clubbed together to give you rank. Okay? So if you qualify for mains examination, first you are asked to write. Okay, so in that the top students who have the chance of getting into the list, only they will be called. Okay, there is no need to interview everyone, right? Because many students are beyond the marks cutoff level which they will get from interview. Many of them would require more than 275 from interview to make into the rank list. Why to interview them? Why to call them? Getting the point? Maximum तो 275 marks के लिए है ना interview. तो इसलिए बुलाएंगे like the topmost people. One who can get selected. It is the part of the same level. मतलब the second part of the examination, the mains examination. आज तो है prelims. Today it's going on. We'll have the paper by 11:30. The prelims 2024. So I'll give you a brief introduction to the subject of geography, what is the syllabus, and we'll do a quick analysis and also go through the important sources which you have to cover. Okay, what are the sources and what is the approach which one has to follow. All of this we'll go through in detail. The subject of geography. So what do you mean by geography? description of Earth. How many of you have had geography as your graduation background? Only one, two. So rest. You have studied geography last time in 10th standard. Plus 2. Plus 2 in 10th standard. Okay. So geography is made up of two words. One is geo, another one is graphy. Geo means Earth. So graphy means description. It is not study. Study means logy. Then it becomes geology. So geology is a different subject. What is geology? Geology is the study of rocks, the study of Earth's interior. So of course that is also part of geography only. Graphy means description. It is the larger picture where we are going to describe the Earth as a whole. To describe the Earth as a whole, you need to understand what is there inside, what is above it, what are the different processes which are happening around it. So it is a study related to every phenomena around the Earth. Right? The process which are responsible for the present characteristic, present behavior of the Earth. That is what is geography. Geography as a subject was developed separately as a subject of study was developed during the time of Greeks. It was Eratosthenes who coined the term geography, a Greek philosopher. So, and initially it was made as a subject of map making, atlas making, map making, for the travelers to travel from one place to another to give them proper direction. And gradually everything started to be included under geography. Now geography has become a very, very wide area. So literally everything under the sun can be asked in geography. So now in that, what all we have to study for UPSC? UPSC के लिए क्या पढ़ना है? There's so many things under geography. You would have heard about many things under geography. What are the topics you have heard about geography under geography? Geomorphology. So little bit more detail. Some concepts, some ideas which you have studied in geography. Which are you? El Nino, La Nina. Okay, then climate. What is climate? What is weather? Anything else? Cyclone. Then physiography means mountains, plateaus, plains. Tectonics. Okay, good. Plate tectonics. Continental drift theory. Good. Seafloor theory. Then oceanography. Then universe, about the study of universe, origin of universe. Okay, so Big Bang theory. Okay, then what is there in human geography? Okay, physical. Okay, so basically there are various areas under geography. Okay, so there are large variety of areas under geography. The main parts of geography we can classify them into the physical and human. Overall, we can put all the topics of geography into two headings: physical geography and human geography. Physical geography talks about the physical features and their characteristics and their processes. Physical features includes the topography, land, what kind of land, mountain, plateau, plain, how they are formed, what is the reason behind their origin, how they are continuing, whether they remain the same or they get destroyed. The study of these physical features is what is called as geomorphology, part of physical geography only. The study of atmosphere around the earth is called as climatology, again part of physical. The study of oceanic region is what is called as oceanography. The study of soil and the life associated with the soil is biogeography. The study of environment around us is environmental geography. Physical geography includes the 5 areas: geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography and environmental geography. But to study this you need some background study. एक background study चाहिए, मतलब we need to understand how exactly earth originated, how solar system originated, what is the solar system part of the larger galaxy, how these galaxies originated, what are their behavior. So there comes little bit idea of cosmology. You need to study little bit about cosmology, not in too detail. You will study in too detail in science and technology. But in geography, you have to study this origin, evolution, and their behavior and characteristics. That is what is physical geography. Introduction to cosmology, geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, and environmental geography. Human geography. What are the things under human geography? Major aspects. One is economic geography. Another one is social geography. Economic geography includes the study of resources. What is a resource? Resource. Agriculture is an economic activity. Mineral resource is a resource. What is a resource? Resource क्या होता है वो बताइए. Yes, which has some utility, which has some value. Whether it makes our life easier or difficult, that is subjective. Okay, so whether mobile phone, has it made our life easier or miserable? Subjective. Yeah, so resource is some anything which has some utility, some value. It includes the study of resources. There are various different types of resources. Water resources, vegetation is also resources. Mineral resources, energy resources, different types of metals, non-metals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, shale gas. All of these are resources. There's a study of resources. Okay, so economic geography का major part आता है study of resources. How they are distributed, what are the factors which are responsible for their distribution, what are their implications, all of this. Then there are usage of these resources. That is what is economic activities. So here comes the primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Primary deals directly with the resources. Secondary deals with the raw materials derived from the primary. For example, agriculture is primary. Where you are dealing directly with the nature, that is primary activity. Mining is primary. Forestry is primary. Fishing is primary. All of these are primary activities. Using the raw material derived from the primary, if you are manufacturing something, you are producing a finished goods, it is secondary. Manufacturing industry is secondary. Construction is secondary. Because in construction uses the raw materials, which is derived from the primary. You make a finished good, finished product. Tertiary supports primary and secondary. Banking, education, services, health, insurance, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. फिर उसको क्वार्टर में भी बना दिया. ओके, सो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट, गवर्नेंस, मैनेजमेंट, क्वार्टरनरी. उसमें कुछ लोग और अलग से दिखाना चाहते थे, फिर बना दिया क्वीनरी. ऐसे आगे जाएगा तो ख़त्म नहीं होता ये. तो बेसिकली प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी, टर्शरी याद रख लो, हमारे लिए जियोग्राफी में उतना काफ़ी है. दिस व्हाट इज इकोनॉमिक जियोग्राफी. व्हाट इज सोशल जियोग्राफी? टॉक्स अबाउट द सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स. पूरा दोनों मिला के ह्यूमन जियोग्राफी. Because here it is also for human beings only. Without human beings, there is no need of economic activity. It is all natural process. It is all part of human geography only. Resource extraction is also part of for human beings only. Then what is social geography? The society. The study of the society from the context of geography. How people are living in a particular place. Settlement, population, culture, language, their traditions, but you will study them from the perspective of geography, because geography has a role in deciding every aspect of this. Okay, for example, in plain area, usually if you see there, people are living in a very close proximity. There is a higher population density in plain area. You go to a mountain area, they are all dispersed, right? So it is decided by the geography. Because it is easier here, there is a easy availability of resources, and they want to make use of the resources in the best possible manner to save the land. They all live together. In a mountain area, it is difficult. एक ही जगह में नहीं रह सकते, सब डिस्पर्स हो गया. ओके, अपना अपना जगह बना दिया. So all that study is what is called as social geography. ठीक है. So geography includes physical and human. Human includes economic and social. And in addition to this, there are lot many other topics under the traditional geography. Okay, there is cartography, there is geographical thought, GIS, GPS, political geography, regional geography. There's so many other things. But the main parts are physical and human. Okay? So now let's see what is given in the syllabus. This is what is syllabus. I have taken screenshot from the syllabus. Okay, as it is from the syllabus only. Please go through the syllabus. Syllabus is very syllabus. कहाँ पर मिलता है? फोटोकॉपी शॉप में, यूपीएससी वेबसाइट में. फोटोकॉपी शॉप में मिलता है, वो गारंटी नहीं होता है. कॉपी पेस्ट करते समय एक दो टॉपिक छोड़ दिया, एंड में आ गया पेज बचाने के लिए, तो चलो डिलीट मारो, फिर टॉपिक डिलीट हो जाएगा आपके सिलेबस से. इसलिए यूपीएससी गिव्स नोटिफिकेशन. प्लीज डाउनलोड द नोटिफिकेशन फ्रॉम यूपीएससी वेबसाइट. Not only syllabus, other than syllabus, there are many other information which is given in the notification. Please go through that. That is very important. पहले उसको पढ़ो, फिर बाद में syllabus देखना. There are certain important hints given in the notification how to prepare for UPSC examination. What is expected by UPSC in main stage, in interview stage? Okay, what is the overall expectation? Very clearly given. Very less people see this. Please go through this. ठीक है. अगर वहां पर देखा तो वहां पर ही आपको मिलता है, वहां पर ही दिया है. यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन कंप्राइज ऑफ 2 stages. वन इज प्रिलिमिनरी, सेकंड वन इज मेन. ठीक है. ऐसे बहुत सारे चीजें फर्स्ट हैंड इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिलेगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग बाकी लोगों को मत सुनो, सबका सुनो, हमारा भी सुनो, सबका सुनो. बट एक बार जो डायरेक्ट कम्युनिकेशन चैनल है आपका और यूपीएससी के बीच में, उसको भी पहले सुनो, फिर वेरीफाई कर लेना. Okay, so then you see. Now from that syllabus, I have taken this screenshot. This is the prelims syllabus, General Studies paper 1. In General Studies paper 1, there are various different subjects. Okay, so this includes polity, economics, geography, history, environment, all of this. In the area of geography, you can see the name of the subject is Indian and World Geography. This is the name of subject. The topics given under is physical, social, economic. We studied this. अभी मैंने बताया था. There are 3 main parts of geography: physical geography, social geography, economic geography. You have to study this from both India as well as world's perspective. Separately, you have to study this from both India as well as world's perspective. Okay, this is prelim syllabus. What about mains? These are the topics given under mains part. In mains we have 4 general studies paper. GS 1, 2, 3, 4 you must have heard. But their actual name, the name of the paper is paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5. Because paper 1 is your essay paper. In main examination, main written, there are 7 papers. 1 is essay, 2, 3, 4, 5 is general studies, 6 and 7 are optional 1, optional 2. मतलब same optional का 2 paper होगा. What about English language, Indian language? 2 papers you have to compulsorily write that in mains. That is paper A and paper B. Okay? So this is general studies 1, that is paper 2. In that there are 3 topics of geography mentioned. Okay, these are the 3 areas of geography which are mentioned here. Okay, let's just briefly go through this. Salient features of world physical geography. The same thing which I told you. World physical geography includes geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography and environmental geography. Second part, distribution of key natural resources. I told you economic geography has 2 parts, resources and economic activity. It is clearly mentioning the natural resources. Okay, from both India as well as world. Okay, so world as well as India, दोनों में पढ़ना है. And then the second part, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world. Okay, so this is economic activities. I told you about agriculture, industry, transportation, services, है ना? Primary, secondary, tertiary sector. The second area is about economic geography completely. And in mains there is no mention of social geography. In prelims we saw that physical, economic, social to mentioned hai. In mains there is no mention of social geography. Then there is a third paragraph. Important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. geographical features and their locational changes in critical geographical features and flora and fauna and effects of such changes. So where do you study this? In which part of geography? In which part of geography do you study this? This is part of physical geography only. All these topics you will not study separately, you will study as part of physical geography. In physical geography, particularly geomorphology, you will study earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity. It is a clear part of geomorphology. Cyclone is part of climatology. Then why UPSC has given this separately? यहाँ पर तो सोशल ज्योग्राफी दे सकता था, वो तो दिया ही नहीं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाई सोशल ज्योग्राफी इज नॉट स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन्ड इन मेंस? बिकॉज इसके पहले सोसाइटी का पूरा टॉपिक्स है, वो सोसाइटी मतलब ऑलमोस्ट सोशल ज्योग्राफी है. इन यूपीएससी एग्जामिनेशन देयर इज वेरी लेस फोकस ऑन सोशल ज्योग्राफी. You take out last 10-15 years of papers, you will clearly see that there is not much weightage at all. There is a very minimal weightage for social geography, 1 or 2 questions only. मेंस में तो मेंशन भी नहीं, इसलिए हम भी ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ाते. जहाँ पर ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ाते वहाँ पर पढ़ा के क्या फोकस होगा, मतलब क्या फ़ायदा तो है ही नहीं. Your focus should be mainly on physical and economic geography. Even though in the prelims it is mentioned physical, economic and social. Okay, social, the questions are not at all coming. Okay, it has never come. Last 20-25 papers bhi nikhalo aap. Okay, questions were never from the social geography. So here this part is specifically given, even though you will study about this here in the physical geography, this because this has a special relevance for your career in UPSC, in civil services. After you become a civil servant, this is where you are going to work. The disaster management. These are the areas where changes are currently happening, which are impacting the common man. है ना? If you see, usually in paper 1, there is usually 1 or 2 questions related to disaster. People will be confused. Disaster management is part of paper 3. Why they are asking in paper 1? It is clearly mentioned. These are all the disasters only. Every disaster is a geophysical phenomena. But here you will study from the geography's point of view. In paper 3, you will study from the management point of view. How to manage those disasters. That differentiation is very much important here. Okay, these topics are highlighted by UPSC because you have to study them little bit in more detail. Here NCERTs are not sufficient. थोड़ा सा और detail में पढ़ना है आपको. And if you see the previous papers, questions from the paper 1, okay, there it is very clear that this area carries highest weightage. Usually in paper 1, 250 marks, out of 250 marks, 100 marks will be from geography only. Geography carries the highest weightage. In that 100 marks, usually 40 marks come from these areas only. Very clearly UPSC is saying that यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ के आना, मैं पूछता हूँ यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन, so लोग तो नहीं करते. फिर यहाँ पर डिटेल क्वेश्चन आ गया तो देन दे विल स्टार्ट क्राइंग, ये तो आउट ऑफ सिलेबस है, इतना डेप्थ तो नहीं पूछना है, एनसीईआरटी में नहीं दिया है, बिकॉज सिलेबस ठीक से नहीं दिया है ना, अब सिलेबस ठीक से नहीं देखा होगा. ठीक है. So mains part we can put under different headings. First one is physical geography, and physical geography includes this area of geophysical phenomena. Whenever you read physical geography, try to give special emphasis to these areas. Okay, the first one is physical geography. Second one is natural resources. Let's put this into two different parts. Okay, so usually there are 1 or 2 questions on natural resources separately. Natural resources. Third one is, let's call it as economic activity. There are 3 parts to geography in mains: physical geography, natural resources, economic activities. So other than this, there are few other areas in the syllabus where geography is actually mentioned. For example, in prelims, this is prelim syllabus, there is this topic of environment, environmental ecology, biodiversity, climate change, where I also said that environmental geography is part of physical geography. This is actually part of geography only. Till 2011, environment as a separate subject was not mentioned in the syllabus. It was only in the 2011 it was made as a separate subject because of the environmental issues we have started to face in the recent times. To bring more awareness, this has been made as a separate subject. But for this you need the knowledge of geography. Half of environment is geography only. Without geography you cannot prepare environment. This is one area where geography is required. In mains syllabus, particularly in paper 3, there are many topics that are related to geography. Geography is paper 1, then GS1, that is paper 2. Okay, GS1. In GS3, there are few topics that are related to geography. Okay, for example, in the area of economics, there is a topic of crops. Major crops, cropping pattern in various parts of the country, different types of irrigation, all of these are related to geography only. In fact, you will study this as part of Indian geography, Indian agriculture. Okay, however, some of the parts related to the market, subsidy, all of these you will study in economics. You should be able to make the difference. There is also a topic of infrastructure, energy, port, roads, airports, railways. You have to study from both geography as well as economics. And then there is, of course, environment separately mentioned, and then disaster management separately mentioned. These are the areas where geography as a subject is mentioned.
Looking for an effective plan to begin your essay mains preparation? Adopt the structured approach of pre-decided themes and develop sharp essay writing skills. Break down complex topics to articulate your thoughts with logic and clarity. Enroll in the Vision IAS Essay Enrichment Program starting from 27th June, 1 p.m. Build your essay writing skills into your biggest strength.
So this is the overall study area of geography in UPSC. Okay, you will have to study this from 3 different headings: physical geography of world, physical geography of India. I told you physical geography of world, first you should start with the basics of the cosmology, universe, the solar system, stars, galaxies, all of this. And then come to geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, and then the same study in case of Indian physical geography. Okay, physiography, drainage pattern, the climate and soil, the rivers and all. And then study the human geography. Whereas human geography, you can study both India and world together because it's more of information type. Okay, so you can remember it together. Here comes the more conceptual part. First you study the fundamentals, the conceptual part, then you apply in India. Then you come to the human geography, where it is again the application of physical geography only. Okay? So there you will study all of this: resources, economic activities, and finally little bit about the social geography, population and settlement. Basic ideas would be sufficient. And of course, not the least, the map location, the mapping part. That is common for all the sections. You will do mapping from both physical, social, economic, सारे angles है. This is the weightage of geography in prelims in the last 13 years. आज एक और बार ऐड होगा, देखते कितना आएगा. In the last 13 years, in the first 5 years, because since 2011 the syllabus was changed in prelims. So जब से syllabus change हुआ है तब से इतना questions आए हैं. मतलब in each year, of course, out of 100. So initially you can say there were good weightage, approximately around 20. Then for the next 6 years, it was like around 8 to 9. Again it has increased in between. Okay, अभी last 2 years से तो अच्छा खासा questions आए हैं geography से. That means there is a good weightage. I am not including environment here. Environment include कर दो तो 1/3 पेपर तो geography environment ही हो जाता है. So for example, last year का पेपर देखो, around 20 questions in geography, around 18 questions in environment. हो गया खेल खत्म. Geography environment ठीक से पढ़ के नहीं आए तो वहीं पे बाहर. ठीक है? So you cannot ignore this section. You have to give a complete focus. This is mains. Mains has been consistent. This carries highest weightage in paper 1. Out of 250, 100 comes from geography only. 150 marks में 3 सब्जेक्ट आएगा आपको. आर्ट एंड कल्चर, मॉडर्न इंडिया, वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, अगर क्वेश्चन आ गया तो, पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस एंड देन सोसाइटी. Society also carries good weightage. Geography is more than that. But if you include questions from paper 3, 1 question from agriculture at least. Okay, so 2 questions from environment, 2 questions from disaster management, 5 questions. Total 70 marks मान लो. Total of 170 marks in entire GS general studies. It carries the highest weightage. So please take this subject seriously and prepare thoroughly. So because if you prepare, the result is rewarding. Unlike many other subjects where it becomes too analytical, too subjective, geography is little bit static. You prepare, 50% of the questions are like direct questions, static question. Okay, for that you have to prepare thoroughly. Thoroughly करके जाओ तो जो पढ़ के आए वही लिखोगे. ऐसे ऑप्शन मतलब ऐसे चांस मिलना ही मुश्किल होता है. Okay, let me show you a few questions. Okay, we'll come back to the prelims part. This is the mains part. Okay, for example, see this question. What are the forces that influence the ocean currents? Describe their role in fishing industry of the world. ठीक है? It's a very direct question. You have studied oceanography. थोड़ा सा भी पढ़ के आया है तो oceanic currents तो पढ़ा ही होगा. ये तो direct answer वहाँ पर आपका नोट से मिल जाएगा या टेक्स्ट बुक से मिल जाएगा. As it is लिखना है, कोई सोचना भी नहीं है. That is why I call this a static and basic type of question. Static है, इसमें current और कुछ नहीं है, तो static part है, conventional part है. And basic इसलिए कि यहाँ पर like आपको दिमाग भी नहीं लगाना है, पढ़ के आए तो वही लिखोगे. But there is second type of question. Discuss the multi-dimensional implication of uneven distribution of mineral oil in the world. Mineral oil is petroleum, crude oil. First of all, crude oil is unevenly distributed. It is not uniformly distributed everywhere. In some regions there is more, in other regions there is less. There is a disparity. The question is not about how it is distributed. The question is about what is the implication of this kind of distribution. समझ आ रहे हैं? They are not asking how, where you find petroleum बताओ. वो क्वेश्चन नहीं है. अगर वो आ गया तो वो static हो जाता और basic हो जाता. I'm calling this as applied because it is not about the distribution, it is about the implication of distribution. What can be the implication? Political, economic, social, cultural, बहुत सारा implications होता है. Even including from the import exports to the international relations, the wars, including the currency war, the trade imbalance, rupee value, or even the regional disparity in terms of development, inequality, बहुत सारा angle लिख सकते हो. पर सोच के लिखना है ना. You have to think and write. That is why this is a applied question. ठीक है? Then there is a mix of current affairs and static part. where you will use what you have studied from the notes and what you have studied from the current affairs material, and you will combine both and write an answer here. Okay, for example, the world today is confronted with the crisis of availability and access to fresh water resources. Okay, so why? So of course you will talk about the distribution of freshwater resources and what are the current challenges and what is the recent issues in that. And last one is completely current affairs. Discuss the meaning of color coded weather warning for cyclone prone areas given by IMD. Discuss the meaning of color coded weather warning for cyclone prone areas. Okay, must have heard about orange alert, red alert, yellow alert, green alert. So this is totally from current affairs. So there are 4 types of questions. And you will be surprised to know 50% of the questions are from this area only. This type, direct. You prepare geography thoroughly, you can master in, you can score very well in paper 1. So what about prelims? Prelims, again you can expect 4 types of questions in geography. First type of question is totally conceptual and static part. If not all you have studied a concept of geography, you will answer this. Okay? So for example, about earthquake waves. In a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. In P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of wave propagation, whereas in S waves, the particles vibrate up and down at right angles to the direction of wave propagation. So basic idea of earthquake waves and how they propagate, what is the basic difference. Okay, तो direct है, NCERT में मिल जाएगा इसका आंसर. ठीक है? Static. This is current affairs. Three-fourths of the world's cobalt is produced by DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. It is in news since last 2-3 years, because of high demand for cobalt in electric vehicles, batteries. Okay, and most of it comes from DRC, and there are huge issues in mining, environmental issues, all of these are there. You would have studied about various different types of resources in the world. Okay, so but here the question has come about cobalt because it was in news. ठीक है, इतना डिटेल में जाके याद रखना तो मुश्किल हो जाता है, सारा रिसोर्स कौन कौन सा कहां पर मिलता है इतना डिटेल में तो नहीं पढ़ना है. But those which are in news, there you have to go in detail. This is from current affairs. And then of course mapping questions. There are 2 types of location based questions in geography. One is from the static part, another from the current part. A static mapping question, okay, where you have studied the locations as examples in your geography textbook, in your notes. Geography पढ़ते पढ़ते मतलब हिमालयस पढ़ते पढ़ते पढ़ा होगा तो हिमालयस यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक है. Great Himalayas extends from Nanga Parbat to Namcha Barwa. Okay, Nokrek is a biosphere reserve and that is present in Meghalaya. It's an important peak. Kumaon, Gadwal, ये सारा तो पढ़ा ही होगा, उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आए हैं. This is not something which was in news. However, this is from news. A lake has recently dried up. One of the very famous favorite area of UPSC. Lake dry हो गया तो उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. It was in news. ठीक है? So in prelims, 50% of the questions are going to be from locations, location based. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप सारा छोड़ के खाली location atlas पढ़ोगे, पढ़ नहीं पाओगे. You have to do these locations along with geography. When you study about the mountains, remember important mountains. When you study about volcanism, remember important volcanic eruptions. मतलब जहाँ पर हुआ है, recently हुआ है. ठीक है? So you have to study along with geography as examples when you go through different concepts. That is a better way of remembering locations. please go through the previous papers in detail. That gives you a proper direction how to prepare and how to approach the subject. It is always suggested that you go through the previous papers before you start the subject itself. You are starting with geography, go through the previous papers of geography questions. ठीक है, हम सारा स्टूडेंट्स को बताते पर लोग नहीं करते, इसलिए हमने इसके लिए कुछ स्पेशल वीडियोस भी बनाए हैं, यूट्यूब में सेशंस भी किया है. Okay, so you go to YouTube and search the previous papers analysis of Vision IAS, you will find them. Okay, so there is prelims analysis, mains analysis, last 7 years of prelims analysis, last 5 years of mains analysis. So जितना हो सके उतना करो. Last 10 years तक कर लिया तो और बढ़िया रहेगा. ठीक है? So that gives you the proper orientation how to prepare, what are the focus areas which you have to give importance. What is the depth which it is required, in what depth you have to prepare. Okay, what topics you have to go in detail, what topics are not required to be gone in detail. It gives you a proper so direction to your entire preparation. Please go through previous papers. And in the mains I gave you 3 sections, physical geography. Prelims में 3 part था ना, physical geography of the world, geography of India, and then economic geography. All 3 carry almost equal weightage. Physical geography of world carry little bit higher weightage. Okay, but in all 3 there is mapping. Mapping I am not separating this part of this each individual section only, because you cannot do mapping separately. This is mains. Nearly 50% is physical geography, 50% is economic geography. In that, resources, economic activities. But in this physical geography, you can see maximum component is geophysical phenomena. जो last topic मैंने दिखाया था ना, that is covering the maximum part. Okay, those which are relevant for you, particularly after you clear your civil services in disaster management. Okay, so these analyses are going to be very, very important. So please go through that, don't miss that. And sources for geography, of course, there are a number of sources in the market. So before you read them, okay, I'm not saying that don't read them. You read whatever the material you want, but please read NCERTs first. It is must. Okay, so even from Vision IAS material also, there is printed material, you will find it in the market. Okay, so even in that case, we suggest first read NCERT, then go with the printed material. NCERTs are not something which is exclusive. ऐसे कुछ नहीं है कि वहाँ पर और कुछ बता दिया जो हम नहीं बताएंगे. But the way it has been mentioned, it is very clear, lucid. Many of the times UPSC directly picks the statements from there. So don't miss that. Okay, once you read NCERTs, then you can go with any other source. There are 4 important NCERTs one must cover: 11th standard 2 NCERTs, 12th standard 2 NCERTs, 11th standard is physical geography, 12th standard is human geography. Okay, in these 2, one is World India. Okay, very simple. In addition to this, there is a very famous book called GC Leong, Go Cheng Leong. अभी cover page change हो गया, एक नया edition आया है, Go Cheng Leong. Okay, this is for physical and human geography of the world, not from India's perspective, from world's perspective. It's a very small book, very precise, but very, very helpful. Okay, so along with NCERT, you can read, एक और reading लगा दो, थोड़ा बहुत वैल्यू एडिशन होगा. Okay, the way it has been explained, it's very good. बहुत अच्छे तरीके से समझाते हैं. The problem with human geography, particularly economic geography aspect of human geography, in NCERT, it is not sufficient. जो इंडियन इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी आपको पढ़ना है ना, जिस डिटेल में आपको पढ़ना है, ज्योग्राफी, एग्रीकल्चर, मिनरल्स, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, these topics are not covered in detail in NCERT. 12th standard NCERT में इतना डिटेल में नहीं दिया. So for that you can use this as a alternative. This book is ICSE syllabus, 10th standard ICSE syllabus. The name of the book is Total Geography. This covers the entire Indian geography. In this you don't have to read the entire thing, just refer at least the topics related to agriculture, resources, manufacturing and transportation. The cover of the book may have changed, okay, but the name is same. ICSE Total Geography 10th standard. and mapping is must. As I told you, please do mapping along with the geography subject. Don't do it something हाँ आज थोड़ा सा बोर हो रहे हैं चलो अटलस लेके आओ मार्क करते हैं, खाली मार्क करोगे याद नहीं रहेगा, ठीक है. So you have to do it along with it. And most importantly, you have to use the wall maps for revision. I'm sure all of you would have purchased wall map. सबसे पहले तो वही किया होगा, यूपीएससी तैयारी करना है, डिसाइड करते ही वही लगा दिया होगा दीवार के ऊपर, तो लगा के भूल गए भी होंगे. So it would have become part of the wall now, ऐसे एक wallpaper जैसे. So please use that. There is a purpose for that. It's revision. You don't have to mark anything on that. इतना छोटा छोटा सा रहते वहां पर मार्क करते फिर पूरा येलो हो जाएगा. There is no need to mark. Marking you will do it in Atlas. ठीक है? That is for visualization. ठीक है? So आते जाते ऐसे ही दिमाग में कुछ चल रहे हैं, ऐसे देख लिया, हाँ चलो ठीक है यहाँ पर है, ओके रॉकी माउंटेन यहाँ पर है, अटलस माउंटेन यहाँ पर है, ऐसे आते जाते विजुअलाइज करना है. To visualize this you need that map, and even this will be helpful for your mains to draw the maps. You see it on daily basis, that image will get imprinted in your mind. You will use that to draw the maps. You will use the same image to remember the location. Whenever you're reading in newspaper a particular location, okay, so there comes, so a volcano has erupted in the part of Pacific Ocean, okay, near to New Zealand. फिर दिमाग वहाँ पर इस कोने में जाना है, आपके दिमाग में जो मैप है ना उस कोने में जाना है, ठीक है, न्यूजीलैंड वहाँ पर है, उसके बगल में वॉल्केनो हो सकता है. That is how you remember the locations. Use it for visualization. And atlas, you can carry any atlas along with the study, so that is of course must. The basic approach of geography, I'm sure many of you would feel geography as a subject which is very difficult, very factual, difficult to remember all of this, because usually the students will start with the information facts. That is a very, very wrong approach. Don't start with the facts. Start from here. Start with the most basic fundamental concept. You're starting from geomorphology. Before geomorphology, study what is latitude, longitude, rotation, revolution, season. Then only you will understand the concepts related to geomorphology and climatology. You don't even know what is rotation, revolution, what is season. What will you understand regarding climatic regions? Start with the basics. Develop a conceptual clarity over there. You can use various different types of material for that. Pictures, images, videos. There are so many videos available in YouTube. Go through all of it. Freely available है. Animations. Okay, बहुत सारे ऐसे videos दिखेगा, आप visualize कर सकते हो. That visualization is very much important. Then apply it practically. Geography is the most practical subject. आपका practical already हो चुका है, theory बचा है. Okay, so you have been living on the surface of earth for the last 20, 21 years, 22 years. देखा होगा बाहर कैसे है, दुनिया कैसे है. वेजिटेशन, मॉनसून, अभी मॉनसून आने वाला है कुछ दिन में, दिल्ली आ जाएगा. ओके, वी हैव अ स्पेसिफिक टाइम पीरियड ऑफ रेनफॉल इन इंडिया, दैट इज मॉनसून. ओके, सो विंटर कैसे होते हैं, समर कैसे होते हैं, व्हाट कॉजेस द वेरिएशन, व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस. You have already seen this. You have seen different types of clouds. You will study about different types of clouds. Once you go outside, you will identify them. All the concepts of geography is most practical. So try to see it outside. बाहर जाके देखना शुरू करो. Whatever you study in the book, try to apply in the real world. It will be very easy for you to remember. ठीक है, प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन इज मस्ट. देन यू ट्राई टू रिमेंबर द फैक्ट्स एंड इन्फॉर्मेशन. आधा फैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन ऐसे ही याद हो जाते हैं, कोशिश करने का भी जरूरी नहीं है, फिर एक्स्ट्रा ऐड कर लेना, ये भी जरूरी है. इट इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर योर एग्जाम्पल्स, एग्जाम्पल्स के लिए जरूरी है. ठीक है, एंड देन ऐड सम फिगर्स एंड डायग्राम्स. दैट इज ऑल्सो मस्ट. इट्स ए वे ऑफ एक्सप्रेसिंग जियोग्राफिकल नॉलेज. आंसर राइटिंग, एवरी सब्जेक्ट हैज ए लैंग्वेज. पर्टिकुलर तरीके में आपको बात करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पॉलिटी, हाउ टू राइट आर्टिकल्स, केस स्टडीज. इन जियोग्राफी, हाउ टू राइट figures and maps. The more you write, the answer becomes the better. एटलीस्ट एक मैप एक फिगर तो होना चाहिए इन एवरी ज्योग्राफी आंसर. Then current affairs. Few of the topics are current related. You need the current knowledge. Okay, for introduction, conclusion, necessary. Current updation is necessary. That is how you approach geography. So, any doubts related to geography?
Sir, like you have suggested that we have to first read the NCERTs of class 11th. It will be if I read in this manner, pick up a topic, complete it from NCERT and then complete it from GC Leong and then make notes on that topic. It will be good.
Yeah, totally. You can do that. But if at all you're comfortable, then you go with the 11th standard. But if you're finding any difficulty, you can start from 6th standard also. Okay, if you're finding difficulty in understanding 11th standard NCERT directly, you can start from 6th standard NCERT also, 6 to 10.
Like my doubt was that.
I understood that. So you pick up a topic and you read NCERT, you read GC Leong, make your own notes. Yes, you can do that. But try to follow a logical order. There is a logical order. So what I had shown you, the geography topics, that is the logical order. Okay, within that, try to see, so what comes first, what comes next. Before understanding what are earthquakes, what are volcanic activity, you need to understand what is plate tectonics. That is must. And in some cases, NCERT and GC Leong is not sufficient. You need to go beyond that. Anything else?
Are you struggling to understand ethical theories and their practical applications? Many UPSC aspirants face this challenge when preparing for the ethics mains paper. To aid aspirants conquer it, Vision IAS presents the Ethics Case Studies classes from 30th June, 5 p.m. Master the fundamentals of ethics with a clear, structured approach. Stay ahead by interlinking topics with current events and real-world scenarios.
So I'll tell you a short story. एक छोटा सा story बताता हूँ आपके लिए helpful रहेगा in your UPSC journey. This is a story which happened around 2500 years ago. Okay, the present day Israel. Okay, so where right now war is going on. You know. So earlier there was the kingdom of Israel over there. This kingdom, this region of Israel was constantly impacted, infested by some of the robbers who used to come regularly from the sea, invade them and loot them. Okay, those group of people, they were called as Philistines. Philistines, not Palestine. Okay, they have a different history, their story is different. Philistines are the group who used to come as robbers, they used to loot and they used to go back, again come regularly. The king made all the efforts to chase them away whenever they come. So once it happened that they will come and control, they capture a particular strategic location. Okay, so from this location they will be able to control this entire surrounding area. Now you have to chase them away from this location. But ये लोग यहाँ पर आके बैठ गया. They are not moving away from here. The king will send their army. The army has come and they are waiting on the other side. Because if they climb down the valley, they will easily attack them. ऊपर से तो मारना बहुत easy है ना. But even they cannot also come down. They cannot expand. Now they are stuck here. They are also stuck here. In this kind of situation, earlier days, there was a very easy method of resolving the conflict. You send your best man, I'll send my best man, both of them will fight. Whoever wins, the entire side will win. The other side will accept defeat. Okay, that was a agreement. Okay, gentleman's agreement. The easy. The Philistines will send their best man. His name was Goliath. Goliath is a very big man, tall man. Okay, so very well built, a great warrior. Okay, so he has killed many people in the war. He will come, he will carry a big sword, two spear. ऐसे आके खड़ा हो जाता है. इसको देख के कोई भी आएगा भी नहीं. So nobody from the Israel side will come forward. Okay, ये तो बेइज्जती हो गया. At least कोई तो fight तो करना है. Okay, so because in front of him तो ये तो मार ही देगा. तो why to give life where there is no cause for it? So nobody will come forward from the Israel side. The king of Israel will come by himself and will try to push some of them. Okay, so nobody will go forward. At that point of time, a small boy will volunteer. His name was David. So David was not even soldier. He was a shepherd. He would have come to give food to his brothers who were in the army. Okay, so seeing the situation, he'll say, I'll go. So people will make fun of him. So हम ही नहीं जा रहे, तुम चुप रहो. Okay, you cannot win. So he'll say, no, I think I can do it. So I have protected my flock of sheep against wolves and lions also. So let me try. Anyway, nobody is going, so let me try. So having found no other option, king will say, chalo, theek hai, jao. But he will say, you carry my sword. You fight this with this sword. Okay, so David will clearly refuse. No, sir, I cannot carry this. So he will say, what is your weapon? He will show his sling. Sling, though it's made up of cloth. No, you know a sling? You will put a stone into that and you will rotate and release the stone. So usually it is used by shepherds to chase away the birds, crow, okay, or some wild animals. So he will pick up from the ground 4 stones, he will put it in the bag and he'll start to walk towards Goliath. So by seeing a boy walking towards him, so Goliath becomes more furious. So you have sent a boy to fight me, so come to me, I'll cut you into pieces, I'll feed you into all the wild animals, okay, come towards me. So David will come and stand at a distance and he will stop there. He will take one of the stone and he will put it into the sling and he will rotate it fast and he will release it. The stone will hit the forehead of Goliath exactly at the forehead. His aim was very clear. Goliath will fall immediately. He will fall immediately unconscious. David will immediately run towards him. He will take his own sword and he will cut off his head. So the entire Philistines will run away. This is the story of David and Goliath. A very famous story. After that, David becomes a great warrior. Okay, तो उनका तो कहानी आगे जाता है. But usually, many see this story as just a story of some underdog who became famous overnight just out of luck. No. It's not just about the luck. Okay, this has a very important lesson for all of you who is preparing for UPSC. So many will tell you that you cannot do this. Okay, so many difficulties will come, many challenges will come, you will doubt yourself, many will doubt you, nahi ho payega, chhod do. Okay, so if you think you can do this, you can do this. Only you can tell whether you can do this or not. पूरा 100% भरोसा आप रखो अपने ऊपर for the entire journey. ठीक है? Second, everyone will have their own strength, their own weakness. So David had his own strength, that was his sling. And he was very clear, using this he can do something. कर सकता हूं मैं. ठीक है? The king gave his own sword. मेरा sword लेके जाओ, इससे लड़ाई करो. He has never touched the sword. He has never used it. That would not have been of any use for him. He would have lost. We would not have heard about David. Right? He clearly refuses because that is not his strength. He trusted his strength. He trusted his weapon. So like this, everyone will have your own strength and weakness. So it is not required that you have to have 100% ability of clearing this UPSC. If 1,000 people have cleared UPSC, they had 1,000 different way of preparing for this exam. If you listen to toppers, no two will tell the same thing. Okay, so make your own strategy based on your own strength and weakness. That is very much necessary. Okay, everyone will have their own strength and weakness. Okay, so using that, make your own strategy. So just because somebody is saying something randomly, don't believe and start reading. So after an attempt, you will realize that ये तो आपको समझ भी नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है? And third, you need to act quickly. You would not even realize how the time would fly in this entire preparation. Okay, देखते देखते एक prelims हो गया, दूसरा हो गया, तीसरा हो गया, mains हो गया, interview हो गया. You have to act very quickly. Okay, so you need to assess your preparation direction at regular intervals and make corrections immediately. Okay, whether you are going to attempt test series or mock test or self-assessment test, whatever the test you are going to do. So try to assess your preparation at regular intervals. If at all David had delayed little bit, Goliath would have gotten up. थोड़ा सा भी time दे दिया तो वो उड़ जाता. फिर इसका कहानी खत्म था. He will immediately run towards him. He will take his own sword and he will cut off his head. You will get those opportunities during your preparation to make your preparation strong. अगर थोड़ा सा भी ढीला छोड़ दिया तो गलती बहुत महंगा पड़ेगा. ठीक है. And last but not least, please don't be overconfident like Goliath. Okay, many students think that ठीक है हो जाएगा क्या है. Okay, so कुछ 3-4 टॉपर का कहानी सुन लिया तो मैंने तो ज़्यादा पढ़ाई नहीं किया था. ओके, मैं भी 6-7 घंटे पढ़ा था, ये कर लिया था, हो गया मेरा. बट वॉट दे आर नॉट टेलिंग इज वॉट एक्चुअली वर्कड आउट फॉर देम. दे हैड सम इनहेरेंट स्ट्रेंथ, है ना. सो प्लीज टेक थिंग्स सीरियसली and don't be overconfident. Don't judge your opponent. Here the opponent is UPSC. Don't take UPSC for granted. Okay, there is always some surprising thing, some unpredictable things in this unpredictable public service commission. Okay, be ready for that. Fine. So that is the story of David and Goliath. So everyone thought Goliath was too big to fight. David thought he was too big to miss. So I wish you all the best. So at the beginning of your journey. So this is going to be a wonderful journey where you will learn so many things and gain so much of knowledge as well as experience. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.